All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 11 of the Angelo podcast. Moving into new place a little bit dirty, but definitely want to film for y'all to keep showing love, keep teaching y'all, and keep giving great advice. So today's episode is how I got a $300,000 job while in college. This one is pretty near and dear to me because I grew up not really believing in myself, not feeling confident in my abilities, as well as not being too sure what I'm going to do with my life and my career. So I really wanted to make this episode to inspire y'all, not to show off or nothing, but more or less to give you the blueprint to what I learned, and then hopefully you guys can reiterate on that, build the career, build your life you've always wanted, and more or less help you guys achieve it. Because I know people say money doesn't make you happy, but it for sure helps with taking care of the people you love, taking care of your life, paying off any student loan or debt you have, as well as giving you time and resources to pursue what you truly want to do. And I'm a firm believer that if you go to college, you get a good job with it, and use that what you learn to create and build the life you want to believe and build, right? Not all of us are going to be Bill Gates. Not all of us are Mark Zuckerberg. So when you go to college is super fun. And I had an amazing time. People say you drop out and just do what you want to believe. Yes, that is true too. But those 4 years, I made friends who I will be with for lifetimes, and I had an amazing time. So let's dive into it. All right. So for anyone curious right now, how I did it, basically, I worked very hard and got a job at Google, right? Boom, boom. And if you want to jump off now, but let me explain how I did it. So the way it works is that you want to see your career in a way that essentially you want to jump on the boat that you feel that is going to be around the longest and produces the high amount of return. What does that mean? So when Warren Buffett was in college, he had a friend at Columbia Business School. His friend got into the steel industry. The steel industry is a great industry, right? But as we know, steel isn't as big as it is now in 2024. Back in probably those early time when Buffett was in college, steel was big. Warren decided to go to finance. Finance wasn't as big, but he felt that it was going to be the next wave, it's going to be the future, and it's going to be giving a great return in dividends. Fast forward to Warren now, his friend, very smart guy, still industry didn't work out. Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in the world, and people in the world, multiple billions, because he chose finance. For me, growing up in the Bay Area, I realized technology. Technology was the way, technology was the move, because this thing called AI was happening. Most new money was coming from technology because of how fast you can scale software, how little overhead it is to create an MVP, minimal viable product, and how quickly you can basically get users, raise money, and sell your company, right? So I realized, bang, bang, boom, software was the way to go. Majored in biology, wasn't feeling it, and knew that if I needed to become a doctor, dentist, nurse, whatever it may be, then I'm kind of out of luck. So pivoted to technology. So first step, if you want to make a ton of money, right? I'm not saying don't pursue your passions, but the move would be through technology, right? Majors that are really good in technology, software engineering. For me, I did business because I wanted to, in the business side of technology. Now I kind of want to do engineering side, keep evolving, keep growing. But the way I got a $30,000 job was through business, so it's possible. Okay, what did I do? I focused my job search on all companies' tech. So basically, the tech companies that will pay you the most for being a business person will be in the FANG. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Other companies like LinkedIn, they'll pay a lot. So like other big tech companies, just big name brand tech companies, they pay the most. The reason they pay the most is because they have it broken down in base, salary, bonus, right? These three aspects are very important. Base is your normal pay. You get biweekly. Bonus is how much you get at the end of the year, depending on how you perform on top of your salary. And then equity is stock. So if the company performs well, your stock goes up. But essentially, you negotiate a set amount of stock as you come on board within your company, especially for big tech. Okay. So for me, I focused on getting a job at Google. I really, really wanted to work there because I love the products they built, like YouTube, Google search engine, such a huge aspect of my life. And I really wanted to go there. So this is where you gotta play the game. Google only lets you apply to 3 jobs a month, right? So every 3 months, or every month, you gotta apply to 3 jobs. I said, remember my calendar, I applied to 3 jobs a month, 3 jobs a month, 3 jobs a month, 3 jobs a month, till eventually I got a call to become a PM at Google. Someone was leaving the team, they needed a new person, and they were trying to hire someone. So, all right, cool. This is how I got my interview there. Just kept applying. People will tell you, go through referral. Yes, that is great and all, but the biggest shot you give yourself is when you just apply to a ton of jobs. So go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed.com, whatever it may be, and apply to a ton of jobs. This will give you the biggest shot, and you will be able to basically, hopefully, get an interview. So that is how I kind of got the first thing at Google. I applied to a ton of jobs, 3 a month, and made sure that I had my notifications on whenever my 3 a month time would refresh, right? So keep in mind, I was at school. Still am in school right now at UCLA. I decided, okay, cool. I'm going to work and I'm going to go to school. The thing about my program UCLA is they let me do them both, which is really nice. You can take time to just school or you can do both. I wanted to do both because for me, not going to work and going to school full time is a huge cost for me, right? Because you lose out on about $300,000 in income for 2 years for a master's. So that's $600,000. Also, you're going in debt for about around $200,000 or $150,000. So you're almost like half. You're a lot. It's like around $700,000 is the opportunity cost, right? Which is crazy. So very fortunate to be able to go work and school at the same time, so that way I don't have debt when I get out of school, because that is the biggest burden for most people. So I applied to Google, right? This is how it worked. The recruiter called me. After I got a call from the recruiter's like, hey, I want to learn about your experience. Basically, recruiter just wants to make sure you're a cool person. And if you're a cool person, they'll give you the okay, the nod, and you're good to go, right? So that's round 1. They just ask you, tell me about yourself, what you do. If they like you, you get passed on to the hiring manager. Next, you go on to the hiring manager. Hiring manager is another screen where they ask you a whole bunch of behavioral, situational questions. I passed that, and then I went to around panel interviews. Panel interviews were around 5 people or so, where they ask you more behavioral, situational questions, and then if your profile looks good, they'll pass you on the hiring committee. For me, I had all strong hires, meaning that everyone I interviewed with gave me the nod to hire me. Like, it was all strong hires. Like, we got to hire Angelo. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty hyped. I was pretty juiced. And I got hired. Right? So this is the important part, right? I will make a video one day on how the interview process is. Google worked, so that way you guys will demystify and understand it. But the way it worked for the hiring process was that you get a offer from the company. And this is very important when it comes to $300,000 job a year, is that they'll give you an offer. Offer is broken down in base, equity, bonus. So the next thing I did, because I realized I wasn't good at negotiating, I hired a consultant. Paid them around $5,000 or so to review my packet. And then after he reviewed my packet, which is basically my offer packet, we went to the negotiation table. I asked them, hey, I want X amount. Can you help me with this? I wanted $300,000. I asked for $500,000. Essentially, after working with my consultant, working with Google, we were able to get to $300,000. And that was through negotiation. So whenever you negotiate, it's always good to keep in mind you have around 2 or 3 rounds of negotiation. When they say best and final is best and final, and you can't negotiate anymore. What I encourage you to do is when you are applying for jobs, apply to multiple jobs at the same time. The reason being is you want to be able to garner and get competing offers. Competing offers are what will get you basically more money. Because when you can get companies like Meta, like Apple, like Google to bet against each other for your talent, for your services, then you can garner the most money because it becomes a whole negotiation process, right? So my advice for you guys is apply a ton of jobs, secure the offers. Once you secure the offers, get companies to bid for your services. Easier said than done, I know, but it's possible. I mean, think of it. We're all the same human. We're all the same person. So anything I achieve, you can achieve. It's possible. Okay? So this brings me up to my next point, is that your offer from these companies will be highly contingent on the level you came in on. I came in on something called an L4, which is kind of like mid-senior level person, right? So when you come on as L4, you're able to basically negotiate more in a higher value, higher band. So make sure you're able to come on to a good level. Usually if you're a fresh new grad, you had to come in L3. I had about a year or so. I had some experience. So that's why I was able to come on L4. Okay? So just know that. After coming on, negotiating, I really had them focus on the equity. I knew equity was the most negotiable part of the offer. Hence is the reason I negotiated hard on equity, because companies usually have set bands when it comes to what's it called? To job offers for base, but equity is the most negotiable. So you want to go hard on the equity thing, especially if you think that company is going to be around for a long time. For me, that company Alphabet, I knew Alphabet was going to be here forever, for at least for a minute, because do you ever gonna stop using Google? Right now, Google is the most used search engine. We are using it heavily for Bard. So it's kind of going to the AI race with Microsoft and ChatGPT. Excuse me, late, but one film concept fail. So that's big, right? Focusing heavily on equity portion, right? And then bonus was just kind of icing on the cake, where you get a bonus for your salary, and then after bonus, you can that's also you might be able to get a sign-on bonus per se when it comes to actually negotiating your offer. So really do your best to negotiate the offer, okay? So that's kind of like what happened. Essentially, I was able to get an offer from Google. The offer from Google was $300,000, and it helped a ton because I had so much student loan debt. I had to pay everything for myself. And as they say, you had to kind of figure it out, get it out of the mud. And that's kind of my journey. So that's how I was able to do that, right? Through college, I applied to a whole bunch of tech companies. And the reason I say this, apply to tech. Tech is where the money is. If you are trying to take care of your family, trying to take care of yourself, the industry where the most money is right now is technology. Granted, it's not your passion, don't apply there, right? But if you want to be financially do well, technology is where it's at. The reason I say this is because I didn't know this when I was growing up. For me, I grew up knowing that most it was going to be healthcare was the way for me, right? I grew up in an Asian American family. We were kind of forced and told that healthcare. And I said, oh, maybe there's a different way. And then luckily for me, I kind of found technology. Okay. So that's really important, is the industry you get in, especially after college or while you're in college or school, looking at the tech industry. Tech industry is always willing to hire people, right? You need to look at it as engineers. If you want the most sought after skill right now, it's software engineering, because we're having an advent of artificial intelligence. A lot of companies need engineers to build their product, and the companies that are software companies are able to have generate more revenue because the overhead's much lower when your only overhead really is probably server storage and human capital and code, right? Which is very much cheaper than, say, having to risk 100 million, couple hundred million, 200 million on inventory, right? So that's why software engineering is such a hot, sought after profession for people to join, right? And if you're in college, you're paying the same amount for a software engineering major as you are for like a communications major. So you might as well major in something hard and get paid for your efforts and then focus on your passions after, right? So that was my advice on how to get that $300,000 job. Apply to tech companies. This is how I did it. There's different ways to skin a cat or whatever that terminology is. There's different ways to become successful. If you want a really good job while in college, look at technology, right? Alexander Wang, founder of Scale AI, he worked in a tech company while he was in college at MIT, right? So this is another example person. I had friends who were full-time at UC Berkeley as undergrads, and then they were also working a full-time job at like Lyft, right? Or someone who was working at a assortment of tech companies. I've seen it in the Valley. I've seen it. It's possible, right? So if you're really looking to maximize your earnings, get a software engineering job or a job in technology. And if you're wondering, okay, well, I'm actually not a engineering major. I was a biology major. You can still do it. You can be in the business side. But if you're not an engineering major, my advice is switch to engineering, or during your summer when you're on summer break, learn software engineering. How do you do that? Several free resources online. Code Academy is one. Free Code Camp is another. Those are great online resources. If you want to join a boot camp, join a boot camp. The boot camp will teach software engineering principles, how to code, all these great things. And you can translate that into a job while you're in college or during the summer as an intern, right? It's all possible. Nothing is impossible. Also, you may even create a company. Why settle for a $300,000 job when you can be the next entrepreneur to make $1 billion company, $1 million company? Anything is possible. We're all made out of the same human flesh and blood. So just keep that in mind. So I've talked about getting a job, right, at Google. Do the same thing. Tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, Meta, Netflix, whatever it may be. Those companies don't have a limitation where you can only apply to 3 jobs per month. You can apply to unlimited jobs with those, and that's the great thing about that, right? So say you do want to do my process where you apply to tech companies and try and get $300,000 job. It just doesn't have to be Google. It can be all the other companies. And the way you do that is you go on LinkedIn, find software engineering jobs, find jobs that may fit your profile within these tech companies, and just mass apply. The reason I say that is because there's different recruiters looking at different roles. So because there's different recruiters at different roles, the role you apply to is most likely not going to be seen by the other recruiter. And they probably can see what you applied to, like you applied to these other roles, but the recruiter doesn't care. As long as you have your resume in and they're able to hire you, they're going to try and hire you. That's how their metrics are. Benefited. So do your best to apply to a lot of jobs in the tech industry, especially in software engineering or in like the business operations side, right? It may be scary right now because everyone's laying off, but people are still hiring. Companies are still going to need to grow. So just mass apply. And the way this job has changed my life, right? I understand that $30,000 is a lot of money, but also I understand like it's a job, right? So the way it's changed my life is it helped me financially so much is that I'm able to pay off my loans. I'm able to eat healthy food and not have to worry about it. And I'm able to just basically take care of my family, right? So there is a huge incentive to getting a really good job while in school or after school, right? So do your best to follow my funnel process, which is apply to like 50 jobs a day, specifically within the tech niche, interview, and then try and get the offer. When you apply 50 jobs a day, that gives you around 350 a week. You're going to probably interview with like what, say 10% of them. And of those 10%, you'll get like 1 or 2 offers, maybe. Getting jobs, especially highly sought after jobs, is very hard, but it's doable, right? I'm a living example of it, right? So do your best, apply to those jobs. It doesn't have to be Google, it could be just anywhere in tech, learn engineering, and in a year or 2 of hard work, your life will change. I guarantee you that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A quick little video on how I made $300,000 or got a $300,000 job at Google while in college. Very proud of that. I don't come from much. First generation, earned everything myself. I'm no smarter than any of you guys. Anything is possible. I love you, Jello family. Please keep watching this podcast. We are growing so fast, and a lot of love, a lot of comments, just focusing on the good in the world. And don't ever forget, your life is an internal locus of control. You are able to change. You're able to create and mold the life you've always wanted because you're responsible for it. Internal locus of control. I believe in y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button. Subscribe. We need you guys. We're growing so fast, and any help we will be so much appreciated. We're at 3,000 subs now. So like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you, Jello family. Can't wait for this to become 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4, 5, 6, 10 million. We're helping some people. Internal locus control. Leaving y'all. Peace. Have an amazing day, Jello fam.